Good morning, everyone. My name is Arslan, and you are watching Proper Pariksha, the place where we strive for academic excellence in a simple and comprehensive manner. So, today we'll be ending and revising our chapter 8 of class 6 mathematics, and we will be discussing the summary or what have we discussed as per the NCERT and finding out if there is anything missed by our lectures or our videos. So, let us start. So the summary has been written over here as per the NCERT, and we'll just start discussing one by one as we have discussed in our previous chapters. So point number one says that every decimal can be written as a fraction. So for this, I would like you to remind you the very first video which we have studied, that is 8.1. In that, the very first point which I mentioned was how to convert a decimal from a fraction, and the seventh point I mentioned was how to convert a decimal into a fraction. So that is something which we have already discussed and in very much detail. Any two decimal numbers can be compared among themselves. That was the second video that we discussed, that is comparing decimals. And how do we compare decimals? That was mentioned, and the thumb rule for comparing decimals was also mentioned. The two thumb rules that are there, and the previous seven rules that we studied in the previous video 8.1, the very first video of chapter 8, that allowed us to use the method of comparing decimals very easily, and addition and subtraction of decimals also. So comparing decimals, this was discussed in very much detail. Comparison can start with the whole part. If the whole parts are equal, then the tenth parts can be compared, and so on, comparing decimals and using decimals with money, weight. Okay. So till here it is talking about comparing decimals. We have discussed how to compare decimals with a much more easier method, and this will be, maybe you will find that this is a lengthy process which we have discussed, but once you get the grasp of it, you can find the answer just by looking at the fraction. Just by looking at the fraction or the decimal, you can have the answer within a second. Second is using decimals with money, weight, length and distance, weight and or capacity and time. That also we have discussed. Okay, capacity we did not discuss, so this is not something very different. Like for example, we studied kg, then we studied gram, then we studied milligram. Similarly, in capacity we have kiloliter, we have liter, and we have milliliter. The conversion factor is 1000 among each. So kiloliter, 1 kiloliter will have 1000 liters, and 1 liter will have 1000 milliliters. That is all. So nothing new. Coming to point number 3, that is decimals are used in many ways in our lives. For example, in representing units of money, length and weight, that has already been discussed, that how much money can be written as how much money, how international standard and Indian standard can be converted among them, and how it can be written in decimal form, how lengths can be written in decimal form, how time and weight can be written in decimal form. Everything has been discussed in our previous videos, either while discussing the concept or while discussing the example. Addition of decimals and subtraction of decimals is the topic which we have covered in much depth and detail. So this has also been discussed. So there is nothing left as per the NCERT which is remaining to be discussed. Rather, we have discussed one or two or more points which are additional to NCERT, or which are not mentioned in the NCERT, or which may be mentioned in the NCERT in the future classes or in our senior classes, that is class 7 or class 8. So with this we come to an end of chapter 8 of class 6 mathematics, and in the next video we'll be starting class 6 mathematics chapter 9. So keep revising, keep making notes and keep practicing the questions. And if you like our videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. And if you have any comments or feedback, you can comment in our comment section, or you can reach us out at any of our social media handles. So till the next time we meet, goodbye.